Welcome to Two Queens and a Joker, My Narcissist Ex and Me. I'm Brenda. I'm a therapist. I work solely with survivors of narcissistic abuse. We do groups and individual therapy classes, support group as well. And Sarah and I are talking about our mutual ex. Would you like to introduce yourself, even though I just kind of introduced you?
I'm Sarah. I'm in healthcare. I'm not a therapist. I'm just here to share my stories and my thoughts and my memories.
Yes. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Heavy on the bad and ugly.
And that's exactly it. Not everything is ugly.
That's why we stay. Part of it, right?
Exactly why we stay.
Yeah. So Sarah and I were just recording another episode, and we ended by talking about the impact it has on our children being in these relationships. And it's a heavy topic, but I know it's one that comes up all the time in therapy when I'm working with clients. And I think when I look on social media too, this is one of the things. I mean, I think I just actually posted something on my personal social media about like how my thought behind it was like you have children with this piece of shit of a being that you hate, but you have these beautiful children. And it's such an imbalance, I guess, in your brain. Like, how could something I love more than anything in the world come from somebody who was so horrible? Right. But that's the way it is.
Like the only positive thing I can say about the Joker is he gave me two of the best gifts in my life.
Yeah.
Actually, more than two, because now we're family. And I would have
Yeah.
never met
Yeah.
you guys if it wasn't for him. So he has blessed me.
Right. Yeah, and I feel exactly the same. You know, there are 5 children among the 3 women, and I'm grateful for all of them.
Yes.
Every single one of them. I'm grateful that we've said this before, but I'm grateful that they have us as hopefully well, certainly better parents than he was. Hopefully good enough for them with all our flaws, but
And there are a few.
yeah, I would hate to make a list of all the mistakes that I've made and the flaws that I have as a parent, or in life generally.
It's admitting to those and, learning and becoming a better parent. And hopefully your child sees you doing this, and that's what builds your trust with your child, and
Yeah,
you gotta be there.
you do, and you need to this is what I'm working on, is build a tolerance for not the accountability, the taking well, I guess it is taking the accountability, right? You have to have you have to have courage to do that. You have to allow your children to say what they need to say to you. And mine are older than yours. You also have to remember too that it doesn't stop when they're 18, not by a long shot. And if you would have told me that when my kids were little, I would have thought, but by the time they're 18, they don't need their parents anymore. That it could not be farther from the truth.
It's a whole different kind of need.
Yeah, for sure. But you I have taken some solace in the thought that I'm still parenting and my kids are in their 30s. Like it didn't just end at 18 and that was the only shot I got at being a decent parent. That gives me an abundance of hope. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a savior. It was honestly a meme that I saw that, something along those lines. I can't even remember what it said, but it just gave me so much hope that like I still can influence my children with a much more healed version of myself than I raised them with.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's better for them, it's better for us, it's better as our little family that we're
Yeah.
healed, and we're showing them that we're healed and that this person is not affecting us and our mental
Right.
health the way he was before. We're not giving him that power.
Yes. Yeah. And that support can come from unexpected places, and that healing is certainly not linear. It's loop de loop and back and forth and all of that stuff. And it's lifelong.
Yes.
I'm sure a year from now, you and I are going to feel more healed than we feel today.
I think that each time, like, we do a podcast or even just when we get together and we talk or, do stuff as a family, like a little piece of us is healed. We're
Yeah.
able to show that we're not these broken people that we were told we were. We are strong. We have our opinions. We have our views, but people might not agree with it, and that's okay. But we're entitled to what we believe. We're entitled to not be in a relationship where we're not valued, that we're abused on multiple different levels. We have that right. And doing the podcasts, I think just builds every little bit every time, you know?
It does for
Right, I
me
don't
too.
deserve that. Damn right she doesn't deserve that. Damn right my kids deserve better. Damn
Yes.
right we're doing the best we can with what we have for our children.
Absolutely. Honestly, the best thing about this podcast for me is you, that I've gotten
Oh,
closer with you. It 100% is. There's no doubt about it. And I will tell you, because I don't know if you actually do get feedback from people, but some of my clients listen. And what I often hear is how lucky you and I are to have found each other. And I could not agree more. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Not
think
too many
that's,
people are able to do it. No, they don't find that person. Like
mm-mm.
I've told my mom, my stepmom, I'm like, "Brenda's my person."
Yeah.
We're like
Right
down in
back.
the trenches kind of person that I mean, but it's not only just about the Joker, it's about our kids, you know? And
Yes.
we're able to and we have the same like, not the same we're not the same person, but we have so many of the same traits, so many of the same personalities that it just meshes well together.
Yeah. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. I was thinking about this earlier before we started recording too, like of all the places where, because I was thinking about the mask thing, like how we wear a happy face, even when we're not happy, which was one of the things I thought we might talk about. But um this is the place where I feel unfiltered.
Yes.
I can talk to you about anything. I don't feel like I need to hide anything. But I feel most myself right here, which is weird to say because, like we've said before, it feels like it's just you and me talking all the time. But people are going to hear this, and we have no control over who hears it. And like you said in the earlier podcast, it's out there forever, but I don't even care because I am talking to my best friend. I'm talking to
Yeah.
my soulmate. Yeah. So be it.
Totally agree. Totally.
Yeah. So
I don't think I could
everyone
do
should.
this with anybody else. There's not another person on the planet that I think I would feel comfortable sharing, talking about, even when we don't have the same opinion, going over stuff. There's not another
Yeah.
person on this planet I could do it with.
Same. I agree with you. I don't think there's another person I could do it with and be unfiltered for sure, you
Yeah,
know?
no.
Yeah, there's just no way. Yeah, and I have the editing button, so right, so I mean, anything that you and I might say, I'm always happy to edit out what shouldn't be on air, but honestly, I don't cut out much when I edit except for if we accidentally use somebody's name. That's pretty much the majority of
Yeah,
what
no.
I ever cut out. But what we were talking about is the children, and we've said this many times. There are 5 children amongst, the 4 that you and I have, and then Alex, who was from the first relationship. Alex did our logo. I'm really proud of him for that. I
Amazing.
hope anybody who needed a graphic designer will consider using him. He is very, very talented. I will always consider Alex family for
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah.
I think just in the last maybe year and Alex have not that they're talking to each other a day every day or once a month. Like, I think Ian and Chu are really close, like, always sending each other jokes and memes, or when they get
Yeah.
on the phone, it can be, like, an hour long, and I'm like, "Dude, what do you have to talk?" But, I mean,
Yeah.
like, they have that but he Chu started talking about Alex again, and I was like, "I didn't know that you were still in communication." He's like, "Yeah, we hit and miss, and, like, he'll send me something and I'll send him something and we'll talk about it, and, because
Oh.
the kids, as similar as they are also so different.
Mm,
So, like, they feel like they can be open and honest with each other without any negativity, without
yeah.
berating, any of that stuff. So, I'm glad
I
that
hope.
they have that.
Oh, me too. I mean, yeah, and honestly, I think being no contact with their father has probably maybe brought them together more. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I think it
I
definitely helped my youngers when because Ian and Chu talked, and then Chu would come home and talk to New, um, about their like, "Well, this is what Ian and I spoke about. This is, what Sis and I spoke about," So my children didn't feel alone, like because I
thank
think
God.
they always felt that they were alone in that situation with him.
Ooh. Well, thank God for that.
They have that outlet, and I'm so, so happy they have that outlet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
because
me too.
we're mom. I mean,
It's not
they'll
the same.
confide in us, but you know who they really will confide in and tell 100% without filter how they're feeling, what they're doing is their brother and sisters.
Yeah. They're siblings,
We we
absolutely.
we get no matter what, we're gonna get a little bit of a filter from 'em. Just,
Yeah.
I truly believe that they're not gonna be 100% every time when they're talking to us.
Yeah.
They're either gonna be trying to save our feelings or, try not to trigger us or trigger them.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think my kids do that with me, especially my daughter. Ian's a little more not that Alyssa's not forthcoming. Alyssa, she'll spare my feelings a little more, I think, than Ian will. But that's a really good point, and y as I was saying earlier, like, you have to have a tough no, not tough. You have to have courage to stand up and, I think, take accountability for the mistakes that you've made, because we're none of us are perfect. But I have to wonder, like, how much my kids are trying to protect my feelings, maybe how much your kids try to protect your feelings, and I appreciate that, and I love them that they even think about that. But I also want my kids to just let me have it, right? I wanna air anything out, and that goes with your kids too, or Alex too, right? I wanna air anything because I want there always to be open communication for all of us,
Yes.
I don't wanna have no contact and no silent treatment. I don't want any of that bullshit. No, we can talk about anything
It
gently.
might be hard. I mean, there because we've got some tough, touchy, tough subjects, that none of the children should have ever had to witness,
True. Yeah.
and it still triggers being out in public can trigger them with overhearing somebody doing that to their children, another person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that all of them know that we are there for them, that you can tell us anything,
Yeah. I
I
hope
try
so
not to
too.
get hurt feelings when they're super honest sometimes, but yeah, because I like tell my kids all the time, I am not perfect. I'm
Yeah.
far from perfect, but what I am is I'm 100% trying.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
I don't think like I'm in my 20s or think I'm in my 16s, so my brain doesn't process that way. My brain processes I'm in my 50s. That's how my
Hush,
brain
you're a young
processes.
one.
So I see things differently. My opinion's a little different, so I try to hold back on that and let them express themselves to me as much as they possibly can. But sometimes I'm an idiot, and my opinion comes out and it shouldn't if they're telling me their feelings. My
Hmm.
opinion
Yeah.
should not matter. It's feelings.
Yeah.
And if I'm having hurt feelings for what they're telling me, that's on me. It's not on them.
It's not on them, and it's okay,
Yeah,
right? I want
absolutely.
our children to know even if what you say makes me sad, it's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, right? I'll feel sad and then I eventually won't.
Well, and it's a building block.
Yes.
If you're in a relationship where you don't have ups and downs, that's not a relationship.
No,
I'm sorry. That's not humanly possible. You
that's
can't
not.
have 100% of the same opinions, the same thoughts, nothing. You can't do that.
No.
So you're never gonna grow. So I'm glad that our children are able to talk to us, whether it be good, bad, funny, whatever it is.
Yes.
We can take it and hopefully learn from that experience
Yeah,
as
I
a
hope.
group and as an individual.
Yes, all of the above. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know still taking me practice, and I want my kids to say everything and anything to me. I know that I'm a very sensitive person and I can be very defensive. I think I carry that defensive part from childhood, like just and I'm trying to work on that, but I don't want that to be something that shuts down communication or the opportunity for communication. Yeah.
I think I'm the same. I can get very defensive and I want to explain
Mhm.
why I did what I did when it's not necessary. I'm trying to learn myself. It's ongoing. Listen to what they say, and you don't have to always explain why you reacted the way you reacted. You
Yeah.
listen and you learn from what they're saying, be it good, bad. You're the worst mom on the world right now, that you're listening to how they're feeling. Frank.
I just had a big blowout with Alyssa about maybe a week ago. I don't know when it was. So along these lines, it certainly didn't have to get to where it was. I was mad at her. She was very mad at me. Later in the day, I just realized I did not want to go to bed without telling my daughter that I love her. And, if we get in an argument, that's going to happen. Like you said, there's ups and downs in every relationship, but there's never a point where I want that child to question, like if I reacted poorly or if I became defensive or whatever the situation may be, that I want her both all of them. I want them all to know my love is unwavering. There's nothing
Absolutely.
they can do.
I totally agree with that statement, 100%.
Mm.
Like they say when you're in marriage counseling, never go to bed angry.
Yeah.
That should be across the board. You should be able to tell your children you love them no matter what.
Yes.
You're sad, they're sad, you're angry, they're angry, you know, you should be able to say, no matter what, you are loved.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Honestly, if I can have one takeaway from my parenting, I hope and I believe that it was that my children always knew they were loved. I mean, like I have made so many mistakes, but I've never, I hope, ever given them the impression that I did not love them.
I don't know if I gave see, that's a tough one for me because I don't feel I protected them
Mm,
like I should, so I'm not sure if they felt like I loved them fully because I didn't protect them fully.
mm,
Now I can say, "My children know that I love them, they love me, and we're not perfect, so we accept each other," and like you said, we get in fights, so, I mean, it's normal. We're not clones, we're not robots, we're not gonna have the same opinion on everything.
no.
So, now, I would say now, my children would say, Mom's got me. Mom's got me
Yeah.
100%, doesn't matter. She loves me no
Yeah.
matter what. I can come tell her she will love me no matter what." I
Yeah.
can't say that about before because and that's my guilt. It has nothing to do with my kids may tell me I'm wrong. They probably, but with my guilt, because I didn't get them out of that situation when I should have, if they ever if they questioned it, that would be because of that,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, I hear you, and I honestly could say the same thing, right? That I did not protect my children enough. Yeah, that's a guilt that I don't know. I don't know how any parent ever gets over that. Like I think that will go to the grave with me too. Yeah.
We're not perfect. We're absolutely not perfect.
Yeah.
But that was a tough one for me, like, to think about when you were talking about it.
Mm,
I hope they still back then felt 100% mom's there for me, but,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I do think when I want to be careful of how I say this. When your child comes to you because they're hurt, but they're really coming to you angrily or in a way that just feels pretty rough around the edges, right? I think that's honestly a sign of how much they trust you. Unless it's like just flat out abusive, right? I wouldn't want anybody to take that as like take the abuse from anybody, but I think there's something to say about the you being the receptor of some difficult emotions and language because of how hurt they are. And I think your children can learn to be more respectful in how they express all of that, but I bet you they wouldn't do that with the parent that they don't trust, you
No,
know?
I definitely when I separated from the Joker, we had a couple tough years, learning how to communicate with each other, learning we didn't
Yeah.
do it the Joker's way, learning that they were safe with me, learning that I was safe with them. Yeah, it was
Yeah. Well, right. You're learning a whole new family dynamic when that person is out of the picture. When the most toxic person is no longer spoiling the family system.
yeah.
Right.
I think it was Chu sent me I don't know if it was a TikTok or Instagram thing, basically, they it was along the lines of they say children need 2 parents, and, like, underneath that, he says, "And I have both my parents in my mom."
No.
And it broke me.
Yeah.
It's like, "Okay," like, he said, like, "Mom, just think if he was still in contact with us, what the damage that he would still be able to do. Look at the damage he's still trying to be able to do." He's like, "No child needs 2 parents. They need 2 reliable parents that are there for them, that back them up, that have no stipulations on their love." I
That's a
just
big
thought that
one.
it was kinda eye-opening when he sent that to me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Right, you don't need 2 parents. You need reliable people in your life. And
Mhm.
I'm not saying that the Joker in his some fucked up weird way doesn't love his children, but it's some fucked up weird way. You
Very
know what I
much
mean?
so. Yeah.
And should, the children be subject to that and subject to more of his abuse or, self-centeredness? No,
No.
no,
No.
no. There's just no.
There is not right, there's love can't conquer that level of abuse and or yeah, and the love for your child, I fully believe should be unconditional, and he's not capable of that. So, like you said, in some fucked up way, he may love them, but it's not in a way that they need to be around.
Absolutely not. I 100% believe if he was in their life or communicating or had something in their life, they would not be where they are right now.
That's a good
It would
point.
be so traumatic. I don't know how to put it into words. I would be so scared for my children and their mental health if
Mhm.
the Joker was able to be in their lives. Even if the children decided that one day, "Hey, that would scare me because they might be my children might be healed by the time that they but he's not going to be. He's
No,
not
he's
gonna
not.
choose to change.
No.
Not gonna be able to do that for them, and they're going to have to go through the trauma and the abuse
Oof.
again if they choose that later in life.
Yeah. My god, I have not considered that. I've just assumed that there's so much shame in narcissism, right? And I've just assumed that there's so much shame in how he's been as a parent that he would not reach out to my kids. And my kids, I say that specifically because they're older, right? That if anything, I think he would try with your kids, but it never occurred to me, but he probably will. And the older he gets and the more probably desperate he gets and when whatever the relationship he is in now fails, which it inevitably will because at some point she's gonna realize who he is. Yeah, I could see that happening. So, yeah, I'm glad they're I am glad they have the awareness that they do now. This sorry, it brings me back kinda to something I was thinking about earlier because clients ask me this all the time, and I don't really often share exactly what I believe about this because I don't wanna influence what's right for them. I know what's right for me, and what I think is best for my kids is that that motherfucker never talks to them again, right? And I have not really thought of it in these terms where like this could be an ongoing thing as they get older. But I know it from the bottom of my soul that the best thing for them is that he is never in their lives again.
For their mental well-being.
Yeah, the influence that he could have with his deviant way of thinking about so many different things, no, thank you. And God forbid they have children of their own and he's in their life. No, I want them to all have children of their own, but God forbid he's in their lives when they do. I didn't even think about any of that. Good Lord. Yeah. This is something that comes up a lot with the people that are going through separation or divorce or even thinking about divorcing their partners, the people that I work with. It's what we talked about very briefly, but sometimes okay, this is what I see. So this is not meant to be like sexist in any way, but what I see a male child and a female child in the family, the father tends to identify with the male child a lot because they obviously are going to see through their lens that that child looks like me, acts like me, blah, blah, blah. And they encourage that. And then they build like this triangulation with that child. The male child, the father are against the mother, or the male child and the father are against the daughter. This happens a lot. And I see these mothers just heartbroken because they're seeing their son align with their father, who they can see at this point is so toxic and unhealthy. And what do you do with that? Like, what do you do? I don't know the answer,
You just
other than
for your kids.
that's what I was going to say.
Years and years of telling the kids that I was a horrible mom.
Mm,
I didn't love them. I remember and it turned into a joke for them. They would say, "Mama ruined it," because he kept saying it, like, "Okay,
my
it's
God.
it's 9 o'clock. The kids need to go to bed, be it they're watching something or trying to do something. Well, mama ruined it," and he instilled that in them, like, as they got just kept and I didn't let on that it bothered me, but it was like a stab in my heart every
Of
time I heard
course.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's not and ruin. Mama's being mama. Mama needs to make sure her kids are sleeping. Mama needs to make sure her kids get enough to eat, that they don't spend all their money on stupid shit, that they learn to save, that they learn how to spend money, how to save money, that kind of stuff." But
Mama
yeah,
didn't ruin.
anything fun that I had to or, okay, we need to leave because we need to get the kids haven't done their homework yet, or I need to get home and cook dinner, or just anything. Mama ruined it. Years,
Wow.
years.
What
Yeah,
a message
yeah,
on so many levels for you and for them. But the reality is that kids need routine and stability, and that's what you were providing. Ironically, maybe, I don't know, but the fact that he provided none of that is probably why, part of why, that he has no contact with any of his children. What a shitty thing to do. Yeah, but not surprising. And they have to make somebody the villain, right? So that they
yes,
can puff out their chest and try to be the superstar.
yeah. There was a lot of mom wouldn't let us do that, or like all the grandiose ideas of when literally we barely have enough money to feed ourselves. Well, mom won't let us go to Magic Mountain, or and when you have kids, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and argue in front of them that fact that, there's no money, it's not mama, it's there's no money.
Yeah.
But they don't need to hear that. I
No.
hope that I didn't do that in front of the children. I'm sure there was probably occasion where I'd be like, "Stop fucking me!" Or I'd say, "We just don't have the money," but they don't get that.
No.
They don't understand. So it was like a perpetual, your mom's not good enough, your mom always ruins family stuff, your mom is negative, your mom is this. So like they grew up thinking this. So it's like grooming the children
Yes.
over time.
Yep.
And so when the Joker knife split, I think that was another reason why at first those first years were a little difficult. It's them learning, no, mom did this for this reason. Mom listens. Mom will be there no matter what I say to her.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take my anger out on her.
Unfortunately, but yes.
Yeah, because they can't take it out on the one who actually deserves it. The one that needs to know that he did something to them. They don't wanna do that. We're safe. We're a safe harbor for them.
Yes. Right. And we'll take it because we
Yeah,
want,
gladly.
yeah. Yeah. We want to be
It's
that safe.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not,
very difficult.
it's not a picnic. No.
No.
But I mean, you can see where it's coming from too, right? Like, your children, that there's love there, and they're hurt. They're just
Yes.
hurt. Yeah. It's hard to
Just like
see your
we
children.
had to learn to outgrow and separate from the way that we were groomed to be, same with that.
Yes.
Same with them.
That's
I mean,
so
that was
true.
their childhood. That's who they were. That's what they were grown up learning. You don't treat mom with the same respect. You always
Yeah.
treat dad better. You listen to what dad says. Dad says we don't need to listen to mom.
Ugh.
I remember Chu telling me that one time he's like, "I don't need to listen to you because Joker said, 'I'm bigger than you are.'" And I went, "Okay." I said, "That you absolutely, you are bigger than I am, but I'm your mom and I'm always here for you." But at that moment when he was at that, he didn't get it. He
Yeah.
was, "I don't need to listen to you. I've been taught I don't have to listen to you. I don't need your opinion. I don't need to ask you. If I ask him, that's the final answer." No, go ahead.
It just, like, can you imagine being partnered with somebody you love and turning someone else against this person that you supposedly love? Much less your child, their child? That is,
And the sick demented thing is that he started it as like a joke for them, mom's
mm,
ruining it. Mama ruined it again, and then as, your teenage years come around and then, well, you don't why are you even listening to her? You're bigger than she is. She's just a female. Why you need to listen to her? And I'm okay,
yeah.
that I just love what you're teaching our children. And I'm like, okay.
My God. I'm just, again, I shouldn't be surprised, but just that's how he thinks, right? That's how he thinks. He knew that he was bigger than both of us and he could get away with everything. And why not pass that down to the children? Absolutely diabolical.
Very.
And I think This happens with my clients, maybe not on that level where there's I mean, that's a physical threat, right? Like, you're bigger than her, you can you can get away
Exactly.
with anything. But I think this is fairly universal that we experience, when any parent, and this goes for men or women, a parent trying to turn the children against the other parent, parental alienation, as it's known in the courts and elsewhere probably. But this is such a, like, this is in the playbook. And whether you're divorcing or not, the narcissist is always going to try to turn the children against you on some level. And I think they're typically successful because, like you said, they start very young and it's a joke and we're just being playful and the kids don't see anything wrong with it because they don't know any better.
That's not hurtful. We've been saying it for so long. Mom doesn't care.
Yeah, mom cares. Mom cares.
Mom
Yeah.
does care. So
The misogyny, right? The misogyny that comes along in these, at least, well, maybe no, in this relation in these relationships with male narcissists. I
yes.
mean, I often wonder too, like, where no, sorry. I was gonna say why such hatred toward women. No, I think there's something there. I do think there's something there. Because I've mentioned this honestly, and I came across this recently too, but I mentioned this before. There was a time when I thought our Joker was probably gay. No, nothing wrong with that. But I just thought maybe this is why he's so unhappy, is because he's gay and he's not living the life he truly wants to live. And it was this deference to other men that led me to think that. Like, he was always trying to impress other men, trying to be super kind to them, or super generous with other men, and was always trash talking women or certainly objectifying women. And then I
Yes.
think, yeah, my therapist brain goes back to mommy issues. And with, sorry, I'm going backwards in time because we've talked about all of this already, but
But I totally agree because he wasn't raised by his mom because she wasn't there. Unfortunately, she passed away.
mhm.
So he was basically raised by his older brothers.
Yeah,
So,
feral
I mean, his
children.
tata was what, 2 or 3 jobs? He was never, I mean, just to keep food on the table and a house over their heads, the man was never home.
Mhm.
They had free reign, I
Yeah,
mean,
they were feral.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and imagine and that's the blind leading the blind, for real, the older children. Yeah, my goodness. Oh boy, I think I've lost track of what we were even talking about. I'm just thinking all these memories always pop up when we're talking, and I
yes,
get so distracted by all of it, but it back to the children, right? Like, that, just that they're our biggest worry and probably the most impacted by all of this. I mean, and then the guilt that we feel for not being able to see it sooner, or to not get out sooner, or not having the ability to get out sooner, which is often not possible for women. And how do you navigate that too? When you know that the writing's on the wall, but financially it's not feasible, and perhaps you would be worse off not, living in a unsafe neighborhood, or who knows what, or without support around you if you left.
trying to leave that person, you're scared what he's going to do.
Yes.
You don't know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna react, you know? I mean, you're scared for your life. You're scared
Yeah.
for your children's lives.
Yes.
You don't know what they are going to do.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you've likely already seen, and I know it's certainly the case for you and I, we saw what he's capable of. So leaving is so risky. Just the act of actually leaving is so risky. Yeah. I've told women that I work with, if you're literally going to be moving out of your house, you need to have a bunch of people there. You
Yes,
don't say, I'm leaving, and start packing and have you just be alone, or just you and the kids, have other people there. You just need to be strategic for your own safety.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How scary.
Yeah, and invest in
Yes.
cameras.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very important.
Cheaper ones nowadays than, 5 years ago. So, I mean,
But yeah, and they're good.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people have cameras in their houses these days, but the Ring camera, but even if that's what you have, that can be helpful,
yes.
right? It's going to catch things, especially as you're walking out the door.
Well, and hopefully it works the way it should, that it's a deterrent.
There you go. That's important.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, you deserve a life that doesn't need to have a deterrent,
Well, yeah,
right?
you absolutely do, but you have to get to that point where don't have that deterrent anymore.
Exactly. Use it when you need it. Let the goal
Absolutely.
be that you never need it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you don't ever use it, it's there. Thank you again from Brenda and myself for listening to our podcast. We cannot do this without you guys. Thank you for listening to us. We appreciate you. Please send us ideas. Please send us anything you want us to talk about, and we will gladly try to fit it in for you guys. Send us an email. Anything that you guys want to talk about, we are more than willing to give our little spin on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. We appreciate you and you guys. Until the next podcast, we will see you.
Thank you.